Good afternoon, YouTubers. It's Ben here from Southeast Queensland Storms, back with you for another Southeast Queensland weather update, and your weather update starts now. And good afternoon, Southeast Queenslanders. Good afternoon, YouTubers. Wherever you are watching this forecast video, welcome back to another Southeast Queensland weather forecast coming to you on this Monday, the 1st of April 2024, or April Fool's Day. But wherever you are, hope you're having a great day. So, what weather can we expect across Southeast Queensland this week? Unfortunately, it's probably weather that you don't want to hear, but yes, the wet weather looks to return to Southeast Queensland predominantly from this Wednesday through to this weekend, where we're likely to see showers and thunderstorm activity return to the region. So unfortunately, this is not an April Fool's joke, and the wet weather looks to return to Southeast Queensland as we move through the mid to end parts of this week. But we'll have all the details for you on what we can expect weather-wise coming up in this forecast video very shortly. But before we start this afternoon's forecast video, just a reminder, if you like what you see here on our YouTube channel, such as videos like this, then please click that subscribe button and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also find us on other social media platforms such as Twitter and also Facebook. So if you're on Twitter and Facebook, please jump on and give us a like and a subscribe over there. That way you can stay up to date with all the latest weather developments for Southeast Queensland. All right, let's jump into your weather update for this afternoon. Firstly, starting with our current radar. We do have a little bit of activity on the radar this afternoon, but nothing really of any severity or significance to talk about. So let's take a look. What can we see? Firstly, if we take a look over towards Moreton Island, up through the Sunshine Coast from Caloundra through to Noosa, in areas from Woodford through Kilcoy to Mullaney, Yamundi, Kandanga up towards Nambour. And what we're seeing there is some isolated showers moving onshore from the southeast, and that's due to a southeasterly flow in the lower levels of the atmosphere. So that southeasterly flow triggering those isolated showers moving on from the southeast towards the north-northwest, and in particular areas around Noosa, Caloundra, the northern parts of Moreton Island. We're seeing those isolated showers with a little splotch of yellow or a little dash of orange in them. That's indicative of some bursts of moderate rainfall associated with them. The light green and blue areas indicates light to patchy rain. And if we take a look in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we do have some light patchy rain moving in from the west. So in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we've got a westerly flow coming from west to east, and that's what's seeing that light patchy rain and a little bit of convection in around the Boona area towards Worrell View as well, but that looks to be weakening back, but some light patchy rain moving in from the west. But again, no real weather of severity or significance to talk about on the radar this afternoon, but that's likely to change, in particular as we move through this Wednesday into this weekend. All right, taking a look at your official forecast issued by the Bureau of Meteorology. This was at 4:30 this afternoon. The Bureau's official Queensland state forecast was issued. So what are the professionals at the Bureau talking about? So over the next couple of days in terms of the weather situation, the Bureau's talking about a trough that lingers over central Australia, and it's likely to draw a lot of moisture in from the east coast as well into that trough. Now, as the trough continues to move towards the east, towards southern and southeastern and central Queensland from tomorrow, the trough looks to slow down as it moves in towards southern southeastern Queensland, as particularly as we get through Wednesday into Thursday. The trough seems to slow down or almost become stationary, and as a result we see that increased chances of showers and thunderstorm activity. So the Bureau talks about the trough will reach southeastern Queensland through Wednesday and into Thursday, and it will deepen as it moves. Now, we also have some activity going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere as well, in terms of an upper trough looking to cut off into an upper low, a cutoff low, and that is likely to generate an east coast low through the east coast of New South Wales as we get through this weekend. So as you can see, we have a lot going on in terms of weather. We've got a bit of activity going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere with a cut-off low, upper level trough, and then down towards the surface and the lower levels of the atmosphere, we've got a trough system down there as well that looks to slow down or almost become stationary across southern southeastern Queensland, again bringing rain and storms with it. So the dynamics in the lower and the upper levels look to combine to trigger this increase in rainfall and storm activity across our region, in particular as we get through from Wednesday in towards the weekend. All right, so what can you expect over the next couple of days? So the Bureau talking about in their forecast for tomorrow, Tuesday the 2nd of April, firstly just talking about the chances of thunderstorm activity in the southern interior of Queensland. Now as we get into Wednesday the 3rd of April, we see showers becoming more widespread at times, with the potential for isolated thunderstorms in southern Queensland. And then as we move into Thursday the 4th of April, we see showers becoming more widespread, again with isolated thunderstorms through central and southern districts of Queensland, extending into South southeast Queensland, and the Bureau talks about here possible heavy rainfall in the southeastern interior. So possible heavy rainfall as we move into Thursday the 4th of April. As we get into Friday the 5th of April, again showers still remaining widespread at times with thunderstorm activity through the south, southern and southeastern districts of the state. And then as we go through this weekend as well, thunderstorm activity continuing for southeastern Queensland, with also showers becoming widespread at times, again through southeastern Queensland as well, again with the chances of those thunderstorms. So as you can see, the Bureau of Meteorology is on board in terms of rain and thunderstorm potential for southeast Queensland as we move through from Wednesday through to the weekend. All right, what can we expect in terms of district by district? Firstly, let's start with our residents out on the Darling Downs Granite Belt District. What can you expect in your weather over the next couple of days? Starting tomorrow, Tuesday 2nd of April, we can see partly cloudy conditions with medium chances of showers in the southwestern parts of the Darling Downs, and a chance of a thunderstorm also in the southwest in the afternoon and evening hours. That's in response to that trough from Central Australia moving eastwards and approaching towards the Darling Downs Granite Belt. As we move into Wednesday the 3rd of April, partly cloudy conditions persist with a high chance of showers, again in the afternoon and evening. You notice the difference between Tuesday's and Wednesday's forecast. Tuesday we've gone from medium chance of showers to Wednesday we've gone to a high chance of showers. That's in response to that upper level trough, upper level system moving towards the east, and also the lower level trough system moving towards the east as well. Now as we get into Thursday the 4th of April, cloudy conditions again with a very high chance of showers for the Darling Downs Granite Belt, again with the chances of thunderstorm activity with heavy rainfall all possible. And then on Friday the 5th of April we see cloudy conditions again with a very high chance of showers, again with thunderstorm activity. So right from Wednesday through to Friday, wet conditions in the forecast for the Darling Downs Granite Belt. As we get into the Southeast Coast District, similar story. Tomorrow, Tuesday 2nd of April, partly cloudy conditions, just a slight chance of a shower tomorrow. We ramp up as we get into Wednesday. Wednesday the 3rd of April, becoming cloudy again, high chance of showers in the southern areas, likely during our afternoon and evening hours, with a medium chance of showers elsewhere across the Southeast Coast District. We also see the chances of thunderstorm activity from the late morning. Into Thursday the 4th of April, cloudy conditions persist with very high chance of showers, and again, chances of thunderstorm activity. And similar story for Friday the 5th of April as well. Very high chance of showers with cloudy conditions, and again the chances of thunderstorm activity. Very similar story for our residents up in the Wide Bay Burnett District, starting tomorrow, Tuesday 2nd of April, partly cloudy conditions with a slight chance of the shower near the coast. Wednesday the 3rd of April, we see again slight chances of showers in the afternoon and evening hours with the chance of a storm, most notably in the southern areas towards the Sunshine Coast from the late morning. As we move into Thursday the 4th of April, high chance of showers with cloudy conditions, most likely in the afternoon and the evening hours, again with the chances of a thunderstorm. And on Friday the 5th of April, cloudy conditions again with a high chance of showers, most likely in the afternoon and evening hours, again with the chances of thunderstorm activity. So as you can see, all across southeast Queensland, in the official forecast information from the Bureau, it's all talking about showers and storms. Alrighty, so let's jump in and take a look at a couple of weather models now so we can illustrate what I'm talking about rather than just reading off a text from the Bureau. Let's take a look at some model data to see what we're actually talking about. So just a reminder, from this point of the video onwards, the following forecast information I'm about to give you is that of an amateur storm chaser only and not reflective of a professional or qualified meteorologist. For all official forecast information, I urge you to visit the BOM at www.bom.gov.au/Queensland. Alrighty, so let's take a look at firstly in terms of what can we see. So on your screen at the moment, the chart that you're looking at is a chart that looks at rain and thunderstorms. So obviously the areas of light blue, green indicate rainfall. Obviously the yellow and the red indicates heavier rainfall, and the little zigzags like lightning bolts that you see on your screen are thunderstorms. Alrighty, so this is starting tomorrow, Tuesday the 2nd of April, 10 a.m. Remember, as we move into tomorrow, our trough is still on the approach. It's still on the approach from Central Australia, southwestern Queensland. As we move through tomorrow afternoon, this is tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, we can see in areas right through from Augathella, Charleville, Wyandra, Cunnamulla through St George down to the Queensland-New South Wales border. Chances of showers and thunderstorm activity as that trough in the lower levels of the atmosphere continues to move towards the east. So that's tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock. Showers and storm activity firing up across southern Queensland. As we move into 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we can still see areas of isolated showers and thunderstorm activity persisting in areas through southern Queensland, but starting to encroach into those southwestern areas of the Darling Downs, around Gundawindi, down around the Queensland-New South Wales border as well. Remember, at this stage, the The trough in the lower levels is still on the move towards the east. Now, as we go through 10 o'clock Tuesday into Wednesday, that trough continues moving towards the east. And then as we get into 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, what do we see? We start to see this trough system start to slow down a touch. It starts to slow down, it starts to stall, starts to become stationary. So as we move into Wednesday, the trough system looks to stall, and as a result of that, we see showers and thunderstorms moving into southeast Queensland. Now, some of these thunderstorms could have the potential or the possibility of being severe in nature. And in terms of severity, we're looking at heavy rainfall and possibly large hail, but more so the heavy rainfall as being the primary risk. Now, what does constitutes, or what does the Bureau of Meteorology classify as a severe thunderstorm? So by definition, a thunderstorm that produces hail that's large in size. Now, definition of large is 2 centimetres in diameter or larger. If we see a thunderstorm produce giant hail, which is hail that's 5 centimetres in diameter or larger, if we see damaging or destructive winds which exceed 90 kilometres an hour, or we see a thunderstorm that can produce heavy rainfall that can lead to flash flooding, or we see a storm produce a tornado, then if any one of those 5 criteria are met, then the Bureau of Meteorology will issue a severe thunderstorm warning. So over the next couple of days, if we see thunderstorms moving into the region and they deliver heavy rainfall with the potential for flash flooding, then we could see severe thunderstorm warnings issued by the Bureau for that thunderstorm activity. And as we get into 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, you can see that showers and thunderstorm activity extending all the way from Windera in central Queensland all the way through to southeastern Queensland. So this area here that you see inside your screen, that is all the chances of showers and thunderstorm activity as we move into Wednesday. Why? Remember, that trough looks to stall or looks to start becoming stationary as it moves in closer towards the east. So Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we see the trough again, not really moving anywhere. This is 7 o'clock Wednesday night, 10 o'clock Wednesday night. We can see areas of isolated showers, thunderstorms, persisting all the way from central Queensland into southeastern Queensland. And as we go into early Thursday morning, we can see that activity continues. The showers and storms continuing all the way from central Queensland through southern Queensland into central Queensland again. We can see those areas persisting. That's because the trough's not really moving anywhere. It's just kind of stationary. It's stalling. It's hanging out there. It's just been a real nuisance, if more than anything. Thursday, the 4th of April, 10 a.m., we can start to see things ramp up in terms of rainfall, some heavier rainfall as we move through into Thursday, in particular through central Queensland, down through Roma, St George. And then as we get into a Thursday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we can see that activity starting to move towards the east, towards southeast Queensland. Thursday 4 o'clock, Thursday 7 o'clock, and then Thursday 10 o'clock we can see showers, storms moving in Thursday night through southeastern Queensland, and it continues through into Friday. And there we go, Friday 7 a.m, Friday 10 a.m, Friday 1 p.m, Friday 4 p.m, Friday 7 p.m. Again, you can see the showers and storms all contracting towards the east as we move through Friday afternoon into Friday evening. This is Friday the 5th of April at 10 o'clock, Saturday the 6th at 1 a.m, and again, Saturday the 6th, we see during the afternoon thunderstorm activity. Thunderstorms may not necessarily have a lot of heavy rainfall with them on Saturday afternoon, but we still see the potential for thunderstorms anywhere from Kingaroy through to Toowoomba, Warwick, over towards the Gold Coast, back up through Brisbane, the scenic rim, through Brisbane's north side, and up towards the Sunshine Coast as well. And that continues right through until Sunday afternoon as well, where we see Sunday afternoon 4 o'clock again. We see in those coastal areas from the Sunshine Coast down towards the Gold Coast, chances for showers and thunderstorms as we go through Sunday afternoon as well. So a couple of little pointers to talk about as we have this trough. So if we bring it back out to Thursday, the 4th of April, what we're also seeing is that easterly flow, which is delivering a above average moisture content or a moisture profile into southeast Queensland as well. What does that moisture do from the east? So you can see that easterly flow here. Here it is here. So that easterly flow coming in from the east towards the west. So the trough in here that's stalled or become stationary, it's being fed this moisture profile in from the east. Now that moisture profile that's coming in, that's aiding in the development of showers and thunderstorms as well. Now what's the cause of those? That easterly flow, and if we take a zoom out, we can see some high pressure systems in the Tasman Sea and to the north of New Zealand as well. These two high pressure systems all responsible for triggering southeasterly flow, and this high pressure system here responsible for triggering that easterly flow. But both systems combined, bringing in that moisture content from the east in towards that trough, in towards southeast Queensland, southern Queensland, which again aids in our thunderstorms development and showers as well. We're also looking at above average moisture content as well. So this is our precipitable water anomaly chart. You may ask yourself, what is this chart that I'm looking at? And what we're looking at on a precipitable water chart is the measurement of atmospheric moisture content. And it allows us to get an idea, or allows us to see what levels of moisture there is on offer for a particular weather system to access. So on this particular chart here, we're looking at that inland trough that looks to slow down and stall across southeast Queensland, and how much moisture is on offer for that system to access. Now remember, I was talking about that easterly flow from those high pressure systems in the Tasman and to the north of New Zealand. So with that easterly flow, we're seeing above average levels of moisture being fed into that trough, again seeing the chances for that potential for heavy rainfall across the southeast Queensland region as well. Just a reminder with troughs. Troughs have two separate air masses, being usually they have dry air on one side, and you can see with this particular trough here, the brown and the light brown, the white areas, all resemble dry air. So we have dry air to the western side of the trough, and then to the eastern side of the trough, we see the greens and the blues, which is indicative of above average levels of moisture as well. So as this trough continues to move towards the moist air, so that inland trough, as it continues on its movement towards the east, remember it's got all this moisture profile to access. So as it moves towards the east, it moves towards that moist air. The moist air lifts, causing showers and thunderstorms to develop, and that's what you saw on the previous chart, all that shower and thunderstorm activity over multiple days from Wednesday right through until the weekend. Alrighty, so what else do we look at as we go into Thursday? So as we go into Thursday, we also see the development of a cutoff low. You would have heard me at the start of the video talk about a cutoff low. You may ask yourself, well, what is a cutoff low? So basically what a cutoff low is, it's a system that's an area of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And it has a cold core, so it has a pool of cold air associated with it. And also they have strong pools of cold air with them as well. But what happens is the cold air in the upper levels of the atmosphere from a west to easterly flow. So in our westerly easterly flow of that cold air, we see a pool of cold air break away. And it breaks away from the west to easterly flow, and it comes into a cutoff low. How do we know there's a cutoff low? Because we're looking at the big pool of cold air. Now this is looking at a 500 millibar chart. This is about 18,000 feet above the surface. And we're looking at a nice big cold pool of air here that's overlaid with our winds. Our wind flows at the same level at 500, so 18,000 feet. Now, a low pressure system in the southern hemisphere rotates in a clockwise direction. A high pressure system rotates anti-clockwise. So with our clockwise rotation, our pool of cold air, and also our winds wrapping around into a circle, we can see there is an upper low, or a cutoff low, upper low, that starts to initiate over the border of South Australia, New South Wales and southwestern Queensland. So as we roll through and we take a look as we move into, oh, that's skipped ahead. As we move into Friday 4 a.m, we can start to see that upper low start to move towards the east coast, moving through northern New South Wales. As we get out to 1 o'clock on Friday, we can see that system continuing to track through northern New South Wales, and it's moving towards the east coast. And as we get into 7 o'clock on Friday into 10 o'clock, we can see it continuing to move slowly but surely through northern New South Wales towards the east coast. So that cutoff low, northern New South Wales, and it looks to strengthen as it moves along as well, very slowly, but it looks to strengthen as well. So again, what does that do? Well, that increases instability across southern Queensland and into southeastern Queensland, and that further assists with our development of rain and thunderstorms due to that large pool of cold air in the atmosphere as well. We also do have a trough in the Coral Sea, but the good news is that trough in the Coral Sea in the lower levels doesn't look to have any interaction with our inland trough through southern southeastern Queensland as well. So this cutoff low, what does it do really? So as we go through and we move through into Saturday 4 o'clock, that cutoff low starts to move towards the east coast of New South Wales. Now, what does a cutoff low usually result in? Well, it results in an east coast low. A new terminology to learn, and now you ask yourself, well, what is an east coast low? An east coast low is when we have a cutoff low, so this system here, this cutoff low, and the associated pool of cold air that comes with it moves towards eastern Australia, which is what it's doing over this weekend. It's moving towards the eastern coast of New South Wales. The air ahead of the system lifts and collides or interacts with the warm ocean temperatures. So looking at some temperatures here on Windy, and I'll just find that chart. So if we take a look at our sea surface temperature here, as we get into the weekend, we can see sea surface temperature off the coast of Sydney sitting on 23, 24, 25, 26 degrees. So with those warm sea surface temperatures colliding with that cold air, as the warm temperatures from the sea collide with the cold air, we see an east coast low develop. So if we come back to our chart, oh, that's the wrong one. Let me just find it. Sorry about that. We come back. I've been at work all day. It's all good. It's all good. Bear with me. So we see the warm surface temperatures. So we have warm sea surface temperatures, and we have the cold air from the upper low, or from the cutoff low. As it gets to the east coast, we now have an east coast low. So what does an east coast low bring with it? Well, usually they bring damaging to destructive winds, heavy rainfall, and large waves to those coastal areas. So these areas in here, from Newcastle all the way through Sydney, Wollongong, Ulladulla, all the way to Narooma, all the way down the New South Wales east coast, could be in for some significant severe weather as we move through the weekend into early next week. But we're not going to talk more about that, because obviously that area is outside our coverage zone. So what are the AI models suggesting? So we also do have some AI modelling, but in terms of rainfall, the Bureau, this is the access model from the Bureau of Meteorology. So this is taking a look at rainfall from 7 o'clock tonight right through until early Monday morning. And as we can see, the heavier of the rainfall looks to be confined, according to the Bureau's model, more through southern Queensland. But again, widespread rainfall across all of southeast Queensland as we move through into this weekend, where we could see rainfall in the light yellow, darker oranges areas, anywhere from 15 up to 40, 50 millimetres. Then in these little isolated parts of light to dark purple, we could see rainfall from 90 to 100 millimetres. But again, these rainfall charts, they're not 100% accurate. That's, again, severe storms could move in over the next couple of days and be slow moving and deliver heavy rainfall that brings rainfall higher or less than these totals that are on your screen at the moment. These are just a guide only of how widespread the rainfall will be. And as you can see across southeast Queensland, as we move right through from today, right through till the end of the weekend, there is widespread rainfall coming for southeast Queensland associated with those showers and storms. Alrighty, before we wrap up the video, let's take a look at what our AI models are suggesting. So in terms of AI weather forecast modelling, it's still an unravelling piece of technology that we're currently wrapping our heads around, but it's also an evolving technology as well in terms of AI. In terms of these models, they are low resolution. They are very accurate in terms of forecasting for areas where rain's expected, but they're not very accurate in terms of how much rainfall could we see. So we mostly look at them to determine where our rain will be. The model that you see on your screen is the Fushi model. This is the #1 AI weather forecasting model out there, and this is a mean sea level pressure chart that takes a look at 6-hourly rainfall totals as well. So you'll see rainfall in the pink shaded areas indicates rainfall of anywhere from 10 to 25 up to 50 millimetres over a 6-hour interval. So this is starting at 10 o'clock tonight. So let's just roll the chart through as we go through into 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and into early Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock Wednesday, Wednesday afternoon. And it's not until we get into Wednesday night that you see the Fushi AI model picking up on that surface trough beginning to approach from the west towards the east and beginning to slow down and stall. So that's when at 10 o'clock Wednesday night. As we get into 4 a.m. Thursday, you can see the Fushi model has good agreement with the other models that we've already shown earlier in the video about that trough slowing down or stalling and bringing some rainfall into southern southeastern Queensland. As we get into Thursday, this is Thursday, 10 o'clock, we can see again those areas of widespread showers, thunderstorm activity through central, southern, southeastern Queensland. As we get into 10 o'clock Friday morning, again the Fushi model having that trough linger around through Friday. And then as we get into Saturday afternoon, again we can see showers and thunderstorm activity persisting across southeast Queensland, and it's the same story as we go into Sunday afternoon as well. And then as we go through into Sunday and into Monday, we start to see that showers and storm activity clear from southeast Queensland. So that's the Fushi AI model. If we take a look at the next model, this is the ACE AIFS, or the European Weather Forecast Model version of AI. Again, taking a look at 6-hourly rainfall totals, anywhere from 10 up to 25, 50 millimetres over a 6-hourly interval. This is starting at 10 o'clock tonight. So let's see what the AFIS model has to show. As we move through Tuesday and into Wednesday, you can see on Wednesday afternoon, like the Fushi and the other models, the AFIS model picking up on that trough, beginning to slow down or stall, become stationary through southern Queensland. And then as we go through Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we can see the rainfall increase. That trough really doesn't move anywhere, but again, we see those rainfall totals anywhere of 10, 25, possibly up to 50 millimetres in 6-hour windows right through Thursday into Friday. Again, showers and storm activity persisting as we go through into Friday. And then as we get into Saturday into Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, we're still seeing those areas of showers and storms persist across southeast Queensland towards the coastal areas, and same story as we get into Sunday afternoon as well. And you can also see the AFIS model picking up on the east coast low for New South Wales as well. Lastly, GraphCast. This is Google's version of weather AI forecast modelling. Again, 10 o'clock tonight. What does GraphCast have in store for us as we go through into Tuesday into Wednesday? Again, Wednesday, good model agreement of that surface trough beginning to stall, become stationary across Wednesday, Thursday into Friday, right through central into southern southeastern Queensland. Thursday, you can see the rainfall increasing in those pink shaded areas. This is Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock Thursday night into 4 a.m. Friday morning. And again, areas of widespread showers and storms through Friday afternoon for southeast Queensland, through into Saturday afternoon as well, and into Sunday afternoon as well. And again, GraphCast picking up on the east coast low off the New South Wales east coast as well. So as you can see in the models that you've just seen and in the official forecast information from the Bureau, there is some wet weather ahead, particularly from Wednesday through to this weekend for southeast Queensland in the forms of showers and thunderstorm activity. Again, some thunderstorms having the potential to reach severe levels in terms of heavy rainfall as we go through Wednesday into Friday. And then storms again on Saturday, Sunday, possibly could have damaging winds, large hail with them as well. But I'll have further updates for you over the coming days. So again, if you like this video, you like what you're seeing on our YouTube channel, click that subscribe button and subscribe to us. But with that said, that's going to conclude your weather forecast video today. Hope you learned something, hope you got something from it. And again, I'll have further video updates for you as we move through this week. But prepare for some wet weather in the form of showers and storms over Wednesday through to the weekend. And as always, remain weather aware and weather prepared. Enjoy the rest of your Monday.